Hi and welcome to Digital Skills Part 1. My name is Rachel Quinn. I'm Head of People and Skills at D2N2 Local Enterprise Partnership, and a large proportion of my job is about helping young people understand the careers that exist around them where they live locally and the skills that they're going to need in order to access those jobs. So in Part 1 we're going to look at what are the basic digital skills you need to kickstart your career. So what are the basic digital skills that you're going to need for your career? The first is foundation skills. This is really understanding what digital equipment exists, how you switch it on, how you use it as a very basic level, and how you connect it, for example, to the internet. The next are all around how you then use that equipment. So firstly, for communication, using emailing, messaging, various applications, and being able to share content, pictures, videos, and all sorts of material between yourself and other people. The third is handling information and content. So this is about what the sort of information that you can find online, being able to search, save, and evaluate the credibility of the source, making sure that that information is truthful. The fourth area is being able to undertake transactions online. So making purchases, doing banking possibly, or filling in forms or managing workplace systems that record your activity. You will have done this almost certainly at school or college. The fifth is for problem solving. So this is a step on from handling information. It's being able to find the information, but then doing something with it and interpreting it, and then being able to share it with others in a different format for them to understand and also use. I'll give an example shortly. And the last area is being safe and legal online, understanding the risks of using the internet and how you can protect yourself through authentication, passwords and security measures. So why is all of this important? Well, across the UK, more than 1 in 5 adults lack at least one of those digital skills, which is a really shocking number. And even more surprisingly is that almost 1 in 10 have none of those skills. So if you consider how much of our life is spent online now, it's really important that we're able to demonstrate that we understand how to do that safely. So how do we demonstrate our digital skills? Well, in terms of foundation skills, that's pretty straightforward. It's really been able to say what type of equipment you've used, whether that's a laptop, a PC, a tablet, a mobile phone, and how you've managed to use that. Maybe you've connected it to multiple screens, and have you ever connected it to the internet? And was that by a hard connection, or have you used Wi-Fi? All these mechanisms are worth demonstrating. The next is about communication. So what tools and applications have you used to communicate with others and share information? You might have used social media, for example, Facebook or Instagram. You may well have been using email groups or set up a WhatsApp group to be able to share, to book an event or an activity and make sure people understand things in groups as well as just as individuals. Handling information and content is how have you used the internet to find information, and then what did you do with it? So which search engines have you used? How do you bookmark or save information that you found? And how do you download information from the internet and make sure you can go back to it at a later date? I'm sure you've had lots of examples of this from projects or research that you've done in the past. When we get onto transactions, you might have to think a bit more carefully, but I'm sure there are opportunities where you've used the internet to either buy things, apply for things, or register. For example, any kind of purchasing, even if that's food that you've done on the internet or via an app, is a really good example of an online transaction. But also, have you applied for jobs, volunteering opportunities, or just about anything using an online form? These are all examples of where you've managed to utilise a transaction online to get an effect. Problem solving, this is where we start to pull some of these together. So where have you pulled multiple pieces of data together, and maybe some of that you found on the internet, and then how did you use it? So for example, you may have done a cost analysis for purchasing a piece of equipment or a product. When you've got all that data, how did you analyse it? Maybe you put all of the different prices into an Excel spreadsheet. And then how did you tell people about it? So like me, you may have found all of that information, gathered it in one place and then presented it using something like a PowerPoint presentation. All really good examples of how you've undertook problem solving. And lastly, being safe and legal online. What have you done to help keep yourself safe? So do you understand the importance of a strong password? Do you change your passwords frequently? And have you thought about using antivirus software? All really good examples. So what's the value of these digital skills? What tangible benefit could they be to you? Well, the first is really important in that digital roles actually pay considerably more than roles that do not. So when you're starting your career, any job that's asking for an element of digital skills is likely to have a direct financial benefit. And if we look at how much, on an average salary, that's likely to add £8,300 onto that average salary, which is a really big sum. The next benefit and the direct value is that actually compared to non-users, the annual turnover for small and medium-sized businesses that use digital products is much higher. So for example, a business that uses a website or an Instagram or a Facebook account in order to increase reach and turnover is more than £77,000 greater than the equivalent industry or business that doesn't use those tools. If they go on to use something like e-commerce systems to be able to enable their customers to shop with them online, or they use digital training for their staff, that benefit can be more than £100,000 a year. So it's a real benefit for the employer, not just for their turnover, but for their likelihood of them surviving as a business. And lastly, it's worth bearing in mind that almost all roles now include some digital component, whether that's a little bit of social media or using some of their internal systems. 82% of all advertised role will need some of these basic skills. So if that's whetted your appetite and you'd like to find out more, there are a whole range of resources available online, and I've listed 3 here that not only give you information about the types of careers that are available, but they've also got really good explanations of the types of more digitally focused careers that are out there. Or you could stick around and watch part 2. I look forward to seeing you again.